Hello cyborgs, and welcome to a Pajama Sunday. This is the first Pajama Sunday in a couple weeks. Today I wanted to blather with you about my experiences with Quotidian Cyborg and just my feelings about that whole month of making a video a day, or at least uploading a video a day, and how that's changed, if it's changed at all, my thoughts on filming or my channel or whatever. So we're just going to blather a bit, the royal we apparently, in pajamas, and I've got some herbal pumpkin spice tea because me and the caffeine don't go so well together anymore. Over the month of Quotidian Cyborg, which took place last month in September, I made a video a day. And of those videos, there were 4 wrap-ups, 3 tag videos, 2 vlogs, 1 review, 5 discussion videos, 2 haul videos, 2 bookshelf tour videos, 2 poetry videos, 5 generally bookish videos, so like collections or TBRs, and 4 non-bookish videos. I'm pretty happy with those numbers. I was quite concerned that Quotidian Cyborg would turn into lazy Amanda video making really short videos or videos that didn't have much like matter to them. But out of that month in those video categories, I think maybe 2 to 5 I would consider like lower quality videos. So that's like 10% to 1/6 of my content over the month was lower quality than my usual standards of video making. And in case you were wondering, I didn't make a video every day. I was hoping to do that. I thought that would be fun to have a routine all month of get up, put on makeup, film for 15 minutes, edit for an hour and a half, and then upload. But that didn't happen. It turned into where I would film in like batches of 3 and then take a day off from filming, and I would edit and upload things on that day, and then I would film again. I took weekends off most of the time because my family were all around me and I didn't want to completely ignore them. So yeah, I think it ended up being fine. It wasn't a very stressful month, and I did get to make a lot of videos that I had either been putting off or didn't want to have take the place of an entire week's worth of content because it wasn't very bookish or something like that. I also got a bunch of tag videos in, or not a bunch, but you know, more than I normally do, because I do not consistently do tag videos. I don't think that you can say that I for sure do 1 a month. I think it's more like 1 every month and a half to 2 months, depending upon how many tags have been going around. And also, I think you guys noticed that uncharacteristically, you got 4 wrap-up videos from me over Quotidian Cyborg, because I have previously done wrap-ups only of readathons and then of seasons, so I go 3 months together. But during Quotidian Cyborg, I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk about all of the books I read in the months rather than having to cut back and only talk about things I wanted to talk about. And so you guys got some extra wrap-ups from me, so I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know if I'm going to be doing monthly wrap-ups in the future. We'll have to just see. My schedule allows, but we'll have to see if I feel like doing that or if I want to go back to doing seasonal wrap-ups. So I don't know, we'll just have to find out together. So my goal of Quotidian Cyborg was to kind of rejuvenate the channel, to get some videos that I have been meaning to film for ages actually filmed and out there, like the cat books video and bookshelf tour videos. I will say though that by the end of the month, I was quite tired, and last week I took like almost a whole week off between filming, and it was kind of nice. I mean, it's not that filming is that taxing. It is time consuming, but it's not that taxing. And considering that I don't have very much else to do during my days right now of unemployment, I really don't have anything to complain about. But it does take energy that, you know, I could have used on reading or hanging out with people, and there were some days where I filmed before I then and went and did a social engagement, and those were pretty energy-sucking days for little introvert me. Overall, I liked the experience though, and I liked how I didn't have to choose so carefully what content I'm going to put up on my channel. There's a very big difference between putting up 4 videos a month and putting up 30 videos a month as far as how significant these videos have to be, how representative these videos have to be of you and your channel and your brand, if we're going to use that awful sort of vocabulary, and making sure that it's of a similar quality that you want as well. So, I got to cheat and do a couple videos that were just vlog style where I didn't even put any makeup on, and it took much less time to do those sorts of videos and to edit them as well, versus my normal videos, like my review videos, where, I put on a face of makeup and then I film and then I have to edit carefully and make sure that I'm not boring people too much and that I've said everything I wanted to say in the order I wanted to say it and things like that. So there was definitely like a pressure off as far as the individual videos went, but then we added the pressure of the number of videos. I think I would do it again, but I don't think that I was quite as proud of this first go of vlogging every day as I wanted to be, and I don't know what I could have done differently. I think I might have been more proud of myself if I had done a couple more review videos or talked about poetry a bit more or did a couple more discussion videos. I think that those are some of the most important videos. Those are where I really think about things rather than just doing TBRs or tags. As fun as tags are, they aren't my favorite videos to film because I have read far more books than I own, and oftentimes I have forgotten a lot of details about the books that I've read, so I find that I most of the time put in the same sorts of books for the same sorts of questions because tags often have similar sorts of questions, or I will just try to force something to fit into a sort of question. Also, just selfishly from an editing perspective, if I'm talking about a book I don't own, then I have to spend extra time inserting a clip of the cover page and everything like that, and that does take 15 minutes of extra editing time. And I know it's only 15 minutes, but it's 15 minutes. Like, I could read a chapter of something in 15 minutes. I could watch 3 YouTube videos in 15 minutes. So it's definitely not something to spit on. And every time that I make a tag video, I know it's just going to be a little bit more time with the editing. I think as far as tag videos go as well, though I'm not going to rant on this for very much longer, the fun of the tag video is learning how the theme links in with the questions, not necessarily hearing people's answers depending upon what sort of questions are being asked. I think there are very few tag videos that really approach with very different sorts of questions we've not heard before, asking you to find very different sorts of books. I think there are a lot of tags that use the same sorts of questions, the same sorts of kind of exaggerated questions, like what is your favorite book? What is the book that disappointed you the most? What is your favorite heroine? What is your favorite villain? Stuff like that. You really only have one favorite, theoretically, and after a while you have to find 6 or 7 favorites or just repeat things. That's just my humble, cranky opinion on tag videos. But tag videos are very important with the community though, because it definitely promotes conversation between members of the community. It's a great way to shout people out, and it's also, when you're creating a tag, a really fun creative experience. So they're really important, tag videos, I think, for the social aspects of BookTube, if not for like the content and discussion of BookTube. But apart from wanting to talk with you guys about Quotidian Cyborg, I guess before I go, because this doesn't need to be that long and blathery, I just want to talk to you a bit about how Victober is going for me. So at the moment, I am reading Dombey and Son. I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm doing a buddy read with Victoria from A Hermit's Progress and Kate Howe. Hopefully Amanda J will join us, but her schedule's been a bit tight. And I've been listening to the audiobook even though I have a physical copy, and it's been really fantastic. I've not been super duper attentive all the time when I'm listening to it, but Dombey and Son is such a long book that really I just want to have fun and enjoy the story and not be able to take a test or write an essay on it. So for me, it's working really well of keeping me experiencing the book reading each day. I've also been reading parts of my collected tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe with Carolyn from BBC Girl 520, and that's actually been really nice. We've been reading a like a story or a poem a day, and we've decided to continue on and try to read all of the material in her volume. She's got the Penguin Horror edition, whereas I have like the Modern Library edition or something. So I've got quite a bit more things in there than her copy. So we're going to try to read everything in her copy before the end of the month, and it looks like it'll be doable, and I'm very eager to do that because I've had that copy of Edgar Allan Poe's work since 2007, and I've barely read it. So I think at the crux of 2017, I should be reading quite a bit. You've probably been seeing on Goodreads, I've been doing updates telling you what stories I've read within that volume. It's been hard to keep track of like page numbers and progress because I've been just picking things out at random. So that's been a little bit unsatisfying to see that the progress bar can't like go up, because it would be like, I'm on page 379, I'm on page 182, I'm on page 967, and it would just not make sense. But I am checking things off in the margins in the table of contents and feeling very satisfied with each new check mark that I put down there. As far as my enjoyment level of Poe, I there are some things that I'm really enjoying. I adored The Raven. I didn't realize how wonderful of a poem that was, but I adored The Raven. The Bells was also one of my favorites from high school, and that is such a fun poem to read aloud. It's freaking brilliant. If you don't read it aloud, you're not actually reading it the way it's intended, I reckon. It's just read it aloud if you're going to read The Bells. And then I also really enjoyed The Telltale Heart, though there were some of his stories that I was like, I don't get it. So like The Pit and the Pendulum, not my favorite at all. I thought that he got sidetracked and he spent way too much time trying to figure out the dimensions of the torture chamber rather than getting to like the actual horror of the torture. Also, The Fall of the House of Usher had some beautiful language, but overall wasn't that compelling of a plot. So at the moment, I don't know how I feel about Edgar Allan Poe. We will have to see. I definitely want to finish reading that volume at some point in my life, but I don't think he's going to be a favorite of mine, and I don't know. I feel like he might be the sort of person who, depending upon the reader, but I think for me, he'll have a few hits and most of it will just be mediocre stuff. So yeah, that's how that's going. I haven't started reading Villette anymore, nor have I started reading the poetry, the Victorian and Romantic poetry. I'm hoping to save Turn of the Screw for later this month. I found out that Audible has an audiobook narrated by Emma Thompson with an introduction read by Richard Armitage. So I'm going to be listening to The Turn of the Screw instead of reading it later this month. So I am looking forward to that because freaking Emma Thompson, right? Freaking Emma Thompson. So I think that's all of the blather that you're going to get today, probably as much as you wanted to hear. I hope that you, if you're participating in Victober, are enjoying it. And if not, if you're participating in Spooktober or just reading some spooky things, whatever you're reading right now for October, I hope you're enjoying it. And I hope that you enjoyed Quotidian Cyborg. I know a lot of you did. I really appreciate you following along with that month if you did. And yeah, you know who I also appreciate? My patrons who are supporting me on Patreon. Thank you very much. As always, I really appreciate your support. But in any case, thank you for watching as always. And until next time, continue to be lovely.